Hey Dreamers, this is Jade. Welcome back to my channel. I'm finally getting my reading journal set up for the year. It has been a long time coming. I have been working on this for weeks. I first sketched everything out, and then I slowly but surely got it all inked in and all of that kind of stuff. And I am doing that on camera with you all. I start off by basically just decorating the intro page here. This is a personal size notebook from Sunshine Sticker Co. They have since gone out of business, but I did manage to grab a few of their journals before they did at a very decent price. So I was happy about that. And now I have this one. This is a mint colored one, and I had already ordered a mint colored one, so I said let's go ahead and just use this one for my reading journal. These ephemera are like some kind of bloom something or other. I can't remember the name in the company. However, if I can find a link for anything that I use in the setup of this video, it will be in the description box below, so you can just check there. I decided to basically stamp out reading journal with my little typewriter font stamps that I picked up from Amazon not too long ago. I just did the haul like a couple weeks ago, so yeah. And I'm gonna stamp that all out, and then I'm going to cut it out and round the corners with my corner rounder and put that down as reading journal. Now, with this notebook, I contemplated, because as you can see, there are the black lines there. I contemplated covering that up with my Mono Tombow, the correction tape that I have, but I was like, it's not bothering me. So I decided to just leave it. And I'm going back in here now and just stamping in 2024. And of course, I take down that little weird wonky page in the beginning, and then I can get started. And this is the sketch of my bookshelf. Now my goal for the year is 56 books. Since I read 55 last year, I was like, I'll give myself one more to try and read. However, with the spacing and all of that kind of stuff, my bookshelves end up being like 75 books, and I'm perfectly okay with that, because while my goal is 56, I may read more than that. I just never know, especially now that I am starting to get into manga, which those are quick reads for me anyway. And I also finally listened to my first audiobook. Surprise, surprise, right? So I may be shuffling in different formats and forms of reading this year, so it may end up being more than 56 anyway. So yeah, I am getting my shelves inked. Of course, like I said, I did it first in pencil. I was trying to leave little spaces and gaps to like do decorations, or like add little plants or coffee mugs, whatever. No, I shouldn't say coffee mugs, because I don't drink coffee. I don't like coffee. So I just think of them as hot chocolate, whatever. But it's a really tiny space. So I do go back in and decorate. Now, what I'm going to do, I have personally been inspired a lot by Leilani's scraps and her reading journal. Her reading journal I love so much because it's very colorful. And I really like that because I enjoy watching a lot of people's reading journals. But I noticed that a lot of people have a very kind of like, they'll go with like a dark academia feel, or it just not colorful, whatever. And while that's cool, I didn't want mine to be that way, especially this year, since I'm feeling more color and more bright and vibrancy and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, so what I'm doing is stamping out in different colors my titles at the top of the page, and then I will go over it with my uni pen and outline it so it pops up and stands up on the page, especially since that stamp, while it's great, of course, it doesn't get like full coverage even after I've primed it. So, whatever. Anyway, this is my second shelves of books. As I said, I ended up with 75, so it's like 15 on each shelf. And I am just getting everything inked out and going over that continued because it's my continued shelf there. And what I'm doing first is I'm going to outline all of my spreads first, and then I kind of go back through and do decorations and stuff like that. So here, though, I'll go ahead and color in those shells with this. And so once I'm ready to decorate the shelves and stuff like that, I will go back through and do that all at once. So again, my goal is 56, but I did 75 little boxes here. And while I kind of just sketched them out with my pencil, I will pull out my ruler for this bad boy and just I do it like I do my media when I'm setting up for my media stuff in my mini bullet journal, or if I'm setting up my calendar in my mini bullet journal, and I'll just go all vertical and then go back through and do all horizontal or vice versa. So that's what I'm doing, because even though I sketched these out, I mean, they don't have to be perfect, but it was super wonky with just me sketching it out. And my boxes are like 3 by 3 boxes here. So yeah, and then I'm outlining the title, of course, and then I'll go back through. Once I've completed that, I go back through and add in all of the numbers here. Well, I'm going to erase first, as you can see, but I go back and add all of the numbers here. And I was going to go across, but then seeing how it's truncated there, I was like, nah, I'm just going to go down and up as far as this. And then as later on in the videos, when I go back through and add a drop shadow, as I said, when I'm decorating stuff and stuff like that, and add like more of my goals. I'm doing that in quotes because I don't have like extensive goals for this reading journal. It's my first year doing this, where I'm setting it up myself, and I'm really, for the most part, trying to keep it as simple as I can, because I don't have a book bingo set up. I don't have the A to Z, none of that kind of stuff, just because I don't want to overwhelm myself. And that's also why I chose this smaller notebook. I just don't want this to become a chore. So yeah, and I'm anxious right now because I'm setting this up. This hasn't posted yet, but I want to get all of my stuff for January that I've read and all that. I want to get all that information down and in, but I don't want to mess with it until I'm able to post this video, if that makes sense. Anyway, trying to get this. Now, I ended up having to stamp out 2024. Ooh, I have these Heidi Swap stamps. They're old. They're old in my stash, but the numbers match the stamps of those letters better. So what I had to do was stamp it out, but they weren't solid. They were like just the outline of it. So what I had to do was go back and use my watercolor brush pen to color in the color on those stamps, and it worked out well. And I will go back through and outline that. And here I am just getting, this is just basically the place where I will put all of the icons of the covers of the books that I read in 2024. I opted for the Dutch door thing that everybody seems to do, which is cool. I think it's cool. I've never done a Dutch door before, not that I can remember for anything, but it made sense here, especially with, again, I think I gave myself 75 spaces, but I'm not like entirely sure. I do know it's more than just the 56 that I am aiming for the year. So I am just giving myself those spaces. Now I'm going back over the title there, and I will move on to the next page, which is, so I have these if you see my face there, I'm trying to see. I have these little marks where I'm going to put the books. Anyway, same kind of deal, but I don't need to do a Dutch door for this, because this is just recording the book of the month. So basically my favorites for each month is going to go here. So I marked out 12 spaces, and then I also left space for me under it, well, for above it to write January through December, and then also under it to have my star rating for each book, which Well, I was going to say I would imagine that they would be 5 stars if they were my favorite book of the month, but you just never know because all of your books in one month might be duds and you still have a favorite out of the duds. I don't know. So we'll see how that goes. But I anticipate some high ranking books here. And yeah, now, this is the book battle. I'm very excited for this just to see how it lines up and what ends up being my favorite book of the year. I will say I am not like a lot of people where I keep up with like a lot of the latest stuff that's coming out or anything like that. Not that I don't buy new releases and stuff like that, but I'm not giving myself a TBR or anything like that. I'm going to read stuff that's on my shelf, stuff that's been sitting in my Kindle for forever, all of that kind of stuff. And some of it's old stuff, some of it's new stuff. It's just a mixed bag. And so I am not concerned with like having spreads for new releases or this, that, and the third. And there's other stuff that it just doesn't concern me. Again, I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible. Not to say that in the future I won't want to do that, but this year I am going to keep it simple. And who knows, I may or may not even like this. So who knows if this will appear again in my journals for next year. But we'll see. I'm excited about it for now. As I said, I'm excited to get all of my January stuff down in my pages. I do need to do a spread for that's another thing that I wanted to go over or say is that I don't intend on doing like a recap of each little book that I read. I'm not going to do that. I will make a spread probably for whatever book that I really like, book or two, however many it is that it happens to be during the course of a month that I really, really like, will probably get their own spread. But I won't be doing little recaps or spreads for each and every book that I read during the course of the month. So, yeah. Anyway, I got my book battle pretty much set up here. And I just went ahead and put the size of that square there. So when I'm ready to put the icon there at the end of the year, I already know what size to print it out at. Here, after my book battle, I'm going in and I do want to have a reading log. So, of course, all of the other stuff, the like the bookshelf and stuff like that, pretty much kind of keeps up with it. But this one is just a little bit more detailed. Again, I'm opting for the Dutch door, and with the spacing that I need, I end up with 90 books. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry, pause there because I was just making sure I was right. And I actually end up, I was writing like 1 through whatever, however many fit on this page, 1 through 30, I think it was. And then I realized I was like, and I started doing it the same thing for each page. So I had to go back and redo the numbers and stuff, but it was fairly easy since you started with one or whatever. Anyway, I'm cutting down that thing for the Dutch door again. This was a little bit of a mess, so later on in the book you see where it got messed up a little bit, but it doesn't bother me, and it's probably something I can cover up very easily with washi tape or whatever. So anyway, I am getting my reading log down. I am stamping the title there, and what I plan on keeping up with for the reading log is of course the title and author of the book, the number of pages that I read, and I should have like did a slash and did like hours listened to or whatever, just in case it's an audio book. So pages read will be pages read slash hours listened to or whatever. And then when I started, the date I started it, the date I finished it, the format of it, so ebook, audiobook, or physical book, and then the genre, which I debated on whether I wanted to keep up with that or not because I don't know. I just, it seems like a lot of work to figure out what genre it is because I just feel like a lot of books can fall into so many different genres at one time. And I don't want to have like 50 genres under one book or whatever. But anyway, I am going off on a tangent here. So, yeah, I'm just outlining reading log, but I have that there. And at the end, I do, because I had been wanting to do a, no, I had been debating on whether I would keep track of my DNF books. I know I don't want to keep track of it in the things that I have set up already. However, I probably should. And so once I go through, I'm going to, of course, every other line with this. And this is a mild liner brush pen that has like dual tip, whatever. I love this color combination here. And I just go through and do that for each of these little Dutch door spreads here to have that alternating. But of course, I'm going to write on each line. But after that, I do set up a DNF page. It's not fancy or anything like that. It literally is just DNF stamped out on the top. So yeah, here I'm going back, and this was before I decided that yeah, I was actually going to do a DNF page. So that gets done during the course of this. So I'm going back through and adding in the extra information and stuff like that. So for my bookshelf, I'll just be coloring it in as did I listen to an audiobook, ebook, or physical. Audiobook will be a pinkish color that I chose from my Tombow markers. I did write them down so I'll know which one to go back to. And then also ebook, same thing. Now this Tombow marker is actually drying out, so I'm definitely gonna have to get a new one for my stash because I don't want to fight with it every time that I try to use it. And then here's when I go back in and try to add little stickers in the little cracks and crevices that I left. I do have to cut down like some borders and stuff so they'll fit better. But yeah, and then I go to my book goal page and I am putting 56 books, even though I have 75 there. And then a couple other things that I want to do. I didn't get too extensive with these goals. I want to read at least 5 mangas, 5 audiobooks, and then I want to get at least 5 books from the library. I have been on TikTok and I have been seeing these videos by Michael the librarian, and he is the sweetest soul ever in life, and I love his videos. And he has inspired me to go to the library and renew my library card and just start checking out some books and stuff like that. So I do want to read at least 5 library books for the year. Now I'm just switching back, going back and forth. Here I'm going to do just a little bit of decorating, and I found this girl, and this washi tape is from Michaels. I've had it forever. I don't know if they still sell it. I mean, because it was a long time ago that they had this, but I love the colors in it. It kind of goes with the colors of what I've used in the spread or whatever. And so doing the same thing here, just getting a little bit of decoration in that corner. I don't think I do this for every single page. But the pages that I feel like can use it, I do a little bit of decorating here and there. So at the top, adding this, and this was a printable pack that I picked up from Etsy. Same thing with this, well, not this washi, but at the bottom, also from the same pack. And here is where I add the D and F. And now let's go through everything. Okay, let's go through what I have set up for this reading journal. First, we have the intro page here. Of course, I use some ephemera. Love this frame. And I just use my typewriter stamps to type out Reading Journal 2024. Next, we have my bookshelf, which my goal is 56 books, but there are 15 books on each bookshelf. And I decided to do it like this just because I like this style. Not saying that I wouldn't try other ways in the future. And I tried to leave a little space to fit things like this in. And so, yeah, here is my bookshelf. This is only, what, 45, and then the other one will be continued on the next page. And for audiobooks, I will use this color, ebooks this color, and physical this color. And so again, continuing on here with my bookshelves, this will should equal 75, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. And then here I just did a little decoration with some washi tape that I've had in my stash for a while, some printables, and I just used some old book paper that I have. I have like a separate copy of the Outlander book by Diana Gabaldon. Love it, fantastic book, Chef's Kiss. And I use that as the paper. And then here I just left this space here. I didn't have this yet, but I have it now because, excuse me, when I was setting it up, I want to basically write in what my star ratings are and how I'm going to do that or whatever. So I will go through and do that. I'll probably do it off camera, but that's what I left that space for. Here again is my book goal. Perhaps I should put the S there because I have other smaller goals here, but my main goal is to read 56 books this year. Can I talk? Because I ended up reading 55 last year. So I said, let me put in one more and that'll do it. I did give myself more books just in case I did read over the 56 books. So that is my goal. I have already read one manga, or I should say three, because it's three in one book this year. And then, so I want to read more mangas. This is my first year ever reading manga and audiobooks, same thing. I did listen to Britney Spears' The Woman in Me off of Spotify. That is my first audiobook. So I do want to listen to more of those. So I will do 5 audiobooks. And as I said during the video, I have been seeing Michael the Librarian on TikTok, and I absolutely love him. And he has inspired me to go to my local library, get my library card renewed, and just check out some library books as well. So I want to read five library books as well. Moving on, this is my books of 2024. So basically here, what I'm going to do is just print out an icon for each of the books that I read in 2024. And if I'm not mistaken, I've given myself 75 spots. It could be more or less, but I know it's more than 56 just in case I have overflow. As you can see here, the pen that I used to color this in did come through. It's a Tombow, just a little bit. You can see it ghosting, but it does not bother me because well, it just doesn't bother me, number one. But then also the book covers will mostly cover this up anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I did make this as a Dutch door type of situation here, so I could just do the title across the top here. So we have this, and this is the last section of those books. Next will be my book of the month. So every month, of course, I will have a favorite book. And I just want to document that with, of course, the cover of the book. And then I have, of course, January through December here at the top that I wrote down. And then I left a space under for me to do the book rating that I gave the book. So, yeah. And I will be using this little tiny micro stamp. It's so cute. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And then here is my book battle for 2024. I mixed up the months, so it's not like January against February or whatever. It's kind of like backwards. So January and December, February, November, and I just did it like that, matching them like that. So when we get down here is June against July. And then of course, my favorite from that and so on and so forth until we get a face off of 3 books here. And I just went ahead and just wrote in the size that I would need for the icon to put here once I'm completely done with this book battle at the end of the year, which I am looking forward to. But hopefully this year will not fly by as fast as last year did, because it was a zip. It was like zip, done. So next, we have my reading log. Again, I did the Dutch door, and I've given myself way more space than I need. I think there are 90 spaces for this. So, yeah. But it's my reading log, and it just consists of the title of the book, the author, pages read, which for audiobooks, this will also include the time that it took me to the time that the audiobook is. So pages read slash time, I guess you should say. and then the date that I started the book, the date that I finished the book, the format, whether audiobook, ebook, or physical, and then the genre here. And so, yeah. And then I also did the Dutch door here, giving myself, like I said, way too much space. I probably could have ended here at 60, but I went ahead on and ended up with 90. So, yeah, that is it with that. And then this is just very, very simple. I did want to keep track of the books that I DNF'd. Nothing fancy here. I just um, stamped DNF, and then what I'll do is each book that I do DNF, because I am not shy about DNF in a book. I used to be where I would force myself to read through the entire thing. I don't have that kind of time to waste anymore. I will not do that. If something is not, I've already DNF'd a book. If something is not speaking to me, it's gone. It's done. I'm over it. So, but I left all of this space because, um, and then I could just do the, what do you call them, the icons. I could just print out the book cover and put them here of the books that I DNF'd. So here I am considering putting, either leaving all of this space for DNF or putting the January cover page, which is going to be something very, very simple, because in here I just want to do the books that I really love the most. I will do like a little spread on them or whatever. I won't be doing spreads for individual books, or even little brief recaps for individual books, just the ones that I really love throughout the month, because as I said, I don't want this to be overwhelming. So I'm just going to focus on the things that I am really loving, and then, you know, move on to February and do the same thing. So here's where you can see me cutting, messed it up a little bit, but I can fix that or cover it up or whatever. But that is pretty much it for this right now. I need to get it all filled in and stuff. I guess that'll be a separate video for the month of January. Well, filling in January. But anyway, that's it. That wraps this up. If you have any comments or questions about anything, please leave those below. I trust that you all have been safe and well. If you enjoy this content, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. And I will catch you all in the next video. Bye.